A lot of times these police precincts or these DA office, they actually get like a hard on for like an artist or someone who they feel has evaded them. They're used to working with the judge and working the criminal justice system and the courts, and they have favorable outcomes. So when somebody beats them, they usually try to get their get back.
NBA YoungBoy is suddenly caught in a situation that's got fans second-guessing everything about his freedom and what comes next for him. Behind the fame, the money, and the music, YB was moving reckless in Utah when someone dropped a tip triggering a traffic stop that could have sent him straight back behind bars. Listen to this. The real story of how Melo and the driver saved him from catching another charge is way more layered than anyone expected, and we're breaking it all down. Yo, what's good, fam? Today, we diving head first into a mix of street loyalty and federal pressure that's had the hip-hop world buzzing heavy. This is one of those moments that exposes who's really solid when the spotlight turns into heat. Now, before we jump into this crazy situation, let me be real with y'all for a second. Social media's been wild, saying YB got stopped in Utah and somehow walked away untouched, while people around him got booked. But hold up, we're about to cut through the noise, separate facts from rumors, and show exactly what happened on that highway, because this moment changed everything for NBA YoungBoy and the people around him. The multi-platinum rapper was riding down Interstate 15 in Utah when a state trooper pulled him over, claiming a traffic violation. But here's the part people keep skipping over. This wasn't random at all. Somebody snitched. Someone tipped police off that there were drugs in that vehicle, and the feds have been waiting for any excuse to put YB back in the cell. Now, don't get it twisted. This wasn't bad luck or wrong place, wrong time. This situation runs way deeper than that. We're talking about a calculated move to catch YB slipping, and if it weren't for the loyalty of the people riding with him, he'd be staring down serious federal time right now. But here's where things really heat up. The feds are still salty over that presidential pardon, and they haven't stopped trying to bring him back down. So check this out. Around 4:30 p.m. Utah time, NBA YoungBoy is riding in a vehicle with 3 people total. He's in the back seat, Melo is in the passenger seat, and there's a male driver up front. They're cruising on Interstate 15, probably thinking everything is smooth when those red and blue lights light them up. And in street terms, moving with someone who's already under federal attention means you gotta be extra careful. YB is definitely on the feds' radar. According to Fox 13 Utah, police received a tip saying that exact vehicle contained illegal drugs. Hold up, that's straight snitch behavior, no debate. Someone either close by or watching his moves called the cops with specific details. They knew the car, the location, and what was allegedly inside. The Utah Highway Patrol trooper claims the stop was for a traffic violation, but we know the real reason. They already had the tip and were hunting for probable cause. Now, here's where the law plays dirty chess. In Utah, marijuana is fully illegal. No medical pass, no recreational excuse. So when the officer said he smelled weed, that alone gave him legal grounds to search the whole vehicle. Once the search was done, illegal substances were found and confiscated. That's straight from the Utah Highway Patrol's official statement. Drugs were in the car, and the moment those drugs were found, everybody inside knew exactly what time it was. This is where loyalty gets tested under pressure. This is where you find out who's built for consequences and who folds. But here's the part people aren't talking about enough. Melo and the driver immediately stepped up and claimed ownership of the drugs. They told police straight up, that's ours, not his. They took the hit on the spot, fully aware they were risking serious charges in a state that already had its eyes locked on NBA YoungBoy. According to reports, the Utah County Attorney's Office is reviewing charges for the driver and Melo, not for NBA YoungBoy. YB walked away from that traffic stop without cuffs, without charges, because 2 people decided his freedom mattered more than theirs. Now pause, because this is where the real conversation starts. Why would they take that kind of hit? This is where you gotta understand how power really works in this industry. NBA YoungBoy is the engine. He's the money, the millions, the one cutting checks, feeding families, and keeping entire circles comfortable. If law enforcement locks him up again, everyone living off that success instantly feels it. Melo, the driver, their families, everybody. Their situation depends on YB staying free and productive. But here's the part people gloss over. Catching a drug charge in Utah is serious business. We're talking potential prison time, heavy fines, and records that follow you for years. Still, they looked at the math and made a cold decision.
Better us than him.
Because if YB goes down, the whole machine shuts off. No tours, no drops, no checks. They traded their freedom to protect the source that keeps everyone afloat. And for anyone unfamiliar with street structure, let me spell it out. When you're tied to someone at YB's level, there's an unspoken rule. The one generating the most money gets shielded at all costs. That's not just loyalty, it's survival. It's about keeping the pipeline open so everybody eats. But listen to this, because here's where things get even deeper. The feds are still circling NBA YoungBoy like they never let him go. This traffic stop doesn't feel random when you look at the history. Back in 2024, YB was staring down serious federal gun charges. Real time, career-ending time. Then out of nowhere, he received a presidential pardon. The case was built, the paperwork was ready, and just like that, it was gone. You really think federal prosecutors just shrugged and moved on? No chance! They've been waiting patiently for him to slip again. DJ Academics even broke this down, warning that Utah in particular has him on their radar. And remember, this is the same state where YB got caught up in that prescription fraud case in 2024. He paid a $25,000 fine and thought the chapter was closed. Utah didn't forget. When you beat the system once, they remember your name. When you beat it twice with a presidential pardon, they start watching you extra close. Authorities even admitted they were examining whether YB's criminal history could be used to tie him to this situation, even though he didn't claim the drugs. That alone tells you how badly they want him. They're searching for any opening, any violation, any technicality. And this isn't just about one stop, it's about a pattern that has people genuinely worried about YB's future. Real talk, he moves like someone who doesn't learn from close calls. That's dangerous, not just for him, but for everyone tied to him. His history with drug-related situations isn't new. Prescription fraud, possession issues, repeat exposure. Every time he escapes consequences, instead of tightening up, he circles back to the same behavior. That's crash dummy energy, doing the same reckless things while expecting a different outcome. The streets have been saying for a minute that YB keeps drugs around. Personal use or proximity, it doesn't matter. At his level, it's unnecessary risk. You're a multi-millionaire. You just got a presidential pardon. You've got family and teams depending on you, and you're still riding hot? That's not being real, that's self-sabotage. But zoom out for a second, because the bigger picture matters. The feds don't just want YB over drugs or weapons. They want him because he represents something they can't fully control. A young black artist who beat their system multiple times and still influences millions. Every time he walks free, it challenges their authority. So they watch, they wait, and if they can't get him directly, they squeeze the people around him. Making examples out of Melo, Rax, and the driver sends a message: protect him and you'll pay. The real question now is simple. Will YB actually learn from this close call, or will he keep pushing the line until the system finally snaps it shut? Because if he catches even a minor charge while still under scrutiny from that pardon, the response will be ruthless. No second chances, no political saves. Melo, Rax, and the driver bought him time. They handed him another opportunity to move smarter. If he wastes it, their sacrifice means nothing. They'll be fighting cases while he's back behind bars. And let's be honest about his record. Arrests, weapons charges, drug cases, house arrest, ankle monitors. It's been a cycle. Some fans call that authenticity, but there's a difference between being real and being reckless. The culture needs to talk about this. How many talented artists have we lost because they couldn't adapt? NBA YoungBoy has the skill, the fan base, and the work ethic to be legendary, but none of that matters from a cell. And what about the people who stepped up for him? Loyalty goes both ways. If someone takes a charge for you, the expectation is you hold them down. Lawyers, commissary, family support. The industry is full of stories where that didn't happen. I'm not saying that's his future, but it's a real risk. At the end of the day, this isn't just about a traffic stop. It's about power, loyalty, consequences, and the cost of fame. So what happens next? Does YB tighten up, or does he keep moving reckless until the door finally closes shut? And what about Melo, Rax, and the driver? Do they really face time, or does the case quietly fade? These are the questions the culture is watching closely.